They laughed as security tore through Marcus Reed's bag like he was a criminal, not a man chasing a future, while cameras caught every second and his brother was being harassed by police across town. In a world where his skin spoke louder than his achievements, one moment of humiliation was about to ignite a storm no one in that building could control. They thought they knew exactly who he was, and exactly how far he'd go. What happened next would stun even those who've seen it all, but let's start from the beginning. Marcus Reed adjusted his only suit in the reflection of a glass door. "You got this," he whispered. His mama's voice echoed in his head, "Walk in like you belong there, baby." Inside the corporate lobby, the receptionist barely looked up. "Name?" "Marcus Reed." 10 a.m. interview. She paused, eyes flicking up, then down again. "Have a seat." Two candidates nearby chuckled quietly. "Man, they letting anybody apply now," one muttered. Marcus heard it. He always did. He sat anyway, back straight. When his name was called, the panel didn't bother hiding their skepticism. "Tell us," one interviewer smirked, "what makes you think you fit here?" Marcus inhaled slowly. "Because I've done the work. And I know what this company needs." They exchanged looks. One raised an eyebrow. Halfway through, his phone buzzed, his sister texting, "Police stopped Jamal again." He didn't do nothing. Marcus clenched his jaw but stayed focused. Outside, as he left, security stopped him. "Sir, we need to check your bag." "For what?" "Routine." He knew it wasn't. As they searched his things in full view of the lobby, someone recorded on their phone. Marcus stood still, humiliation burning deep, but his voice stayed calm. "Y'all done?" That video would change everything. By evening, Marcus's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. "Bro, you trending," his cousin said over the phone. "That video? It's everywhere." The clip showed everything: the smirks, the search, the silence of the executives walking past. Comments sections exploded. "This is why we still fighting. Man was just trying to get a job. Boycott this company." News outlets picked it up overnight. Marcus sat at his kitchen table, staring at the screen. "I just wanted a fair shot," he whispered. His mother placed a hand on his shoulder. "Sometimes God puts you in places bigger than your plan." Meanwhile, inside the company, panic spread. "We have a PR disaster," one executive snapped. "Who authorized that search?" Nobody answered. The same interviewer who mocked Marcus now looked pale. "We didn't think." "Exactly. You didn't think." Outside pressure mounted. Sponsors threatened to pull out. Activists demanded accountability. Then someone dug deeper. Marcus Reed, a journalist, said on live TV. "Why does that name sound familiar?" The truth was about to surface, and it would flip the narrative completely. The next morning, headlines changed. "Man humiliated at interview as founder of competing multi-million-dollar startup." Marcus hadn't mentioned it. Not once. His company, quietly growing, had just secured a major contract. The same contract the corporation he interviewed for had been chasing. "Wait. You built that platform?" his sister gasped. Marcus nodded. "I wanted to see if they valued people, or just profiles." Back at the company, chaos erupted. "That's him?" "That's the guy," an executive shouted. "We tried to hire him?" "No," another corrected. "We disrespected him." The board called an emergency meeting. Meanwhile, Marcus was invited onto a national news segment. The host leaned in. "Why didn't you tell them who you were?" Marcus looked straight into the camera. "Because I shouldn't have to." Silence. He continued, voice steady, "If I need a title for you to treat me with respect, that's the problem." Clips of his words spread even faster than the original video. People rallied behind him, not just for who he was, but for what he represented. And then came the twist no one expected. 1 week later, the company released a statement. Public apology. Internal investigation. Leadership changes. But the real shock came at the end. We are restructuring our executive leadership. Marcus watched the announcement live, arms crossed. His mother sat beside him. Whatever happens, you already won. The screen updated. New CEO appointment, Marcus Reed. He blinked. Wait, what? Turns out, after the scandal, the board had reached out privately. Not with an apology, but with an offer. At first, Marcus refused. Why would I lead a place that didn't even see me, he told them. But then he thought about it. Because I can change it. Back in that same lobby, weeks later, Marcus walked in again. This time, no one stopped him. The receptionist stood. Good morning, Mr. Reed. He nodded. As he passed the same interview room, he paused. The interviewer who once mocked him stood up nervously. Mr. Reed, I. Marcus raised a hand. We're going to do better here. Not angry. Not bitter. Just firm. Outside, cameras flashed. Inside, change had already begun. And somewhere, that same video still played, reminding the world. They laughed at him. Until they had to answer to him.